What's up? Moxie with another Borderlands 3 video, and today we are updating my melee Amara build. Now this melee Amara build was originally named Yeet and Delete, and I've had some variations of this, but today I'm bringing you an updated level 53 build with new mechanics, more damage, and a lot of awesome things. This is an up-in-your-face melee build. Really excited to share with you guys. I'm going to show you guys the skill trees now, and as we're showing you guys these skill trees, if you aren't subscribed yet, which 57% of my viewers are not subscribed, and you feel like making my day, make sure to hit that subscribe button. At the time I'm making this, we're very close to hitting 50k, which is a huge accomplishment. So if you want to help me reach that goal, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like and comment. And with that, let's get into the video. So let's get into the core of this build. So the core of this build is using a face puncher, a brawler's ward, a spiritual driver, and an elemental projector. Now the face puncher does melee damage, and with the white elephant, melees have a chance to attach a sticky bomb. These sticky bombs is the majority of our damage. It's what we're going to be scaling all of our damage off of, and these things hit like a truck. The redundant face puncher gives us more chances to attach sticky bombs. With a level 1 brawler's ward, which we'll be talking about in a second, we're going to be doing a ton of melee damage. And with the driver, we're going to be able to decrease our shield very easily to get all the bonuses of a brawler's ward, and also increase the damage of our stickies and proc elemental projector. Very cool build. This is going to be a phase slamming build that utilizes one of my favorite skills, which is Samsara. And basically the gameplay of this build is we have a phase slam face puncher, a phase slam brawler's ward. Right here is 300% weapon damage with 200% melee damage. This is a gear specific build. Now these anointments aren't super necessary, but I have really good gear here, guys, and I just wanted to show you guys what you could do with that. This is a Mayhem for melee build, which is going to be by nature gear specific, so I apologize for that. But the core of this build works really well, and you can still output a lot of damage if you don't have these specific things. So how this works is we've got our face puncher, our brawler's ward, spiritual driver, elemental projector. Now we're using a level 1 shield so that when I phase slam, my shield is gone now. Now that my shield's gone, I have 300% melee damage on top of my 200% melee damage with bonus weapon damage and 4% health regen. I just slammed, so now I'm getting my phase slam weapon damage. I procced a dot on myself, so now I'm procced elemental projector with bonus elemental damage. I procced my other action skill, so now I've got bonus damage there. As you can see, the damage here gets very crazy, but this is also a very survivable and tanky build. Now, one of the biggest changes that I've realized is in order to survive as a melee build, I was originally going clarity, and I believe this was a mistake. The higher health pool with the amount of healing that we're gonna get is crazy. So we're using Root to Rise here, bonus arms deal for increased splash damage, which is gonna scale our grenades and give us healing, mindfulness, more movement speed, more damage. Find your center for bonus melee damage, Samsara for gun damage and health regen. You're going to want to slam in big groups of enemies. With Samsara, you're going to get 25% of your health regen per second and your gun damage. The reason we don't go personal space is because personal space doesn't work with the face puncher, but Samsara does. More damage reduction here. Jab crafts, whenever we deal melee damage to an enemy, we get increased action skill damage and increased gun damage. Our face puncher procs this skill, which is really awesome. Guardian Angel for more survivability, and Blitz for more melee damage. Now, in the red tree, we're going Anima to have that dot on us for longer, Tempest for more elemental damage, Illuminated Fist for more melee damage, Infusion so that we can convert the damage of our face puncher into elemental damage, which we're then boosting with Tempest. Steady Hands, just a little bit more accuracy, Indiscriminate, and Sustainment. These points in Indiscriminate are just to get down to Sustainment. You could put them in Catharsis, you could put them in Wildfire. Doesn't really matter. But our face puncher does not proc Sustainment, however our sticky bombs do, and with a redundant face puncher on every shot, you're going to be proccing sticky bombs, and they do so much damage that these 2 points of sustainment will full heal us even with our bonus health, and when you're reloading or not shooting, you have healing from Samsara. This alone will keep you alive, but with sustainment, you have a lot of healing here and a lot of damage. This build allows you to get up right in the faces of enemies and do awesome things. The playstyle of our debuffs are things that we can use, or debuffs are things that we can use to further increase our damage. We do not use debuffs that much for mobbing. We can for bossing. The way to do the most damage here is if you phase slam and you shoot an enemy with stickies, they're again going to explode, but there's a little bit of a delay. So in that delay, you can phase slam, shoot, throw an It's Piss, which will debuff them, so that they're gonna take 20% more damage from everything, from all the stickies that are about to explode on them, and that leads to one-shotting pretty much everything. You can also use a cryo nade here, but It's Piss works very well, and a Zetsiv's Eruption is also an awesome tool for this. If you don't know what the Zetsiv's Eruption is, it is a COV assault rifle that drops from the Titan at the end of Slaughter Shaft. When you reload it, which I am in the reload animation right now, you're going to send out pellets that'll debuff enemies by 160%. That stacks with the It's Piss, and you can get this with multiple pellets up to a 200% debuff, aka 200% increased damage from all sources. This, with our Face Puncher and this combo, one-shots pretty much anything. It's absolutely crazy. This debuff does not work on Grave Ward, so the one-shot that's about to play right now, or played earlier in the video, where we shot Grave Ward a few times and then slid this without any debuffs, which is crazy. Just goes to show how much damage we can really do here. Now, a Brawler's Ward level 1 is awesome. It's actually quite easy to get. All you need to do to get a Brawler's Ward level 1 is have a Brawler's Word that you want to use for the build drop for you. Don't pick it up. Go and join a friend's game as a level 1 character. Go to the Lost Loot, open the Lost Loot, and the Brawler's Word will drop for you at level 1. Super nice to have. We're going to be able to upkeep 300% melee damage all the time with weapon damage and more health regen. It's absolutely crazy. Now, to scale these white elephants, which is something I didn't understand earlier, is melee damage is the best bonus for them. So you're going to be looking for as much melee damage as you can. So melee damage on your Spiritual Driver is amazing. Melee damage on your Elemental Projector is also amazing. Both of these things are going to increase the damage that these stickies do by a ton. Lastly, what Face Puncher anointment should you be looking for? Now, I have all of the anointments. I have Phase Slam melee damage 200, and I have a on-action skill melee damage increased by 100. Doing the DPS tests for these weapons, I found that the Phase Slam of 300 weapon damage was much better, which surprised me because I thought it would have been Phase Slam melee 200, but it turns out that those anointments cancel each other out. You can't have two of the same. So we're using a Phase Slam weapon damage one with a Brawler's Word with Phase Slam melee. But if you don't have a Brawler's Word with this anointment, feel free to use it on your Face Puncher with an on-action skill and Brawler's Word. That'll work great as well. Lastly, the Spiritual Driver does scale the damage of the sticky bombs when you're moving, but it does not scale your melee damage. I have a Solitary Breaker class mod here for comparison with pretty much the exact same stats. We got splash damage and melee damage on our Breaker class mod, and the Spiritual Driver outperformed the Breaker class mod, and it was by more than double the damage with the Spiritual Driver, even though you're getting an extra point in to find your center. This Spiritual Driver is just really freaking good, and for this build you guys can use it. Lastly, the butt plug is a very cool weapon, and you can use the butt plug with the Unleash the Dragon relic, or you could run around with the butt plug to stab people in the back. And the projectiles, or not the projectiles, the white elephants can crit, and with the butt plug you can one-shot enemies with them if you stick a projectile or a stick a white elephant with the butt plug on enemies, and you can also use and unleash the dragon for crazy dot damage. But of all the things I tried, the face puncher just does the most damage, and as you guys know by now, damage equals good. So face puncher with everything we've got here is awesome. Lastly, I don't know if I mentioned this, but you can use a cryo grenade for the It's Piss. Cryoed enemies take 300% increased damage from melees, but I didn't enjoy like waiting for enemies to get frozen, and so I've been using the It's Piss. But if you have a cryo hex with bonus whatever anointment on it, that'll work really well. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I tried to keep this build video short, sweet, and to the point. So if you appreciated that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in